or is he going to come in for Caleb or someone else?
Possibly Manson. Day to day, if he's not in, yeah. He was out on the ice early, left early, so he's testing some things out.
That will be a game time decision. Josh?
Yeah.
No Wood or Kibby or Ontario, either of them options tonight?
Yeah, Kibby's gonna play. Don't know about Wood yet. Still sick.
That's an emotional roller coaster of a game a couple nights ago. How do you feel like the guys have kind of responded?
Yeah, I think we're over that. You know, it usually doesn't hang around with their team too long. I mean, we had the day off yesterday to get away from the rink, back at work today, so shouldn't be an issue.
Where are you at with Ross Colton's production? He seemed to have a little bit of a hot stretch. It's tailed off. Are you still looking for more out of him?
Yeah, sure. Love to see him score every night. But it's not, you know, like I think that's pretty typical with any player. I think you look at within our roster, they're going to catch some hot streaks, produce, and go cold for a little bit. Obviously, you'd like to see the consistency in it there every night, but I mean, it's just not the way it is.
Is there any conversation that maybe you or UC has with the goaltenders after a game like a couple nights ago where it seemed like just wasn't their night, or do you just let them bounce back?
Just depends. I mean, Prosy hadn't played for a while. He's played pretty well for us. It's obviously an off night for him, but UC goes through the games with their goalies, win, lose, or, you know, every time goes through all their touches, things that he thinks they can do better technically. They talk about the game, spend a bunch of time, so none of that changes after a loss like that.
Georgiev was leading the NHL in minutes played and starts and all that. Do you feel like his workload is where you would like it to be, or like how do you see that at this point?
I mean, I'd like it to be less, but it's, I mean, we seem to take him out whenever he feels like he needs a break, and he plays the rest of the time. He's also a goalie that likes being in the net a lot.
Jared, how does a young player or a new player to your team earn your trust as a head coach?
Starts with paying attention to the detail within the structure of our game, putting the work in to be a complete 200-foot player, like be responsible checking forward, and then I want them to play to their ability and play to their identity. You know, they're usually on they have their own. They're on a line that has an identity, and you know, if it's guys that have offensive ability to help produce, I like to see them be dangerous. Doesn't necessarily have to result in points, but scoring chances for and helping yourself and your line mates produce those chances. And as you kind of round out your game, yeah, we try to use them to the best of their abilities whenever we get the opportunity.
You mentioned in the Florida game that some of the mistakes made early were in the pre-scout. How does that relate to your relationship with players and respect and their ability to absorb all of the information that you're giving them because of the time that you put into pre-scouts?
Well, it's exactly what I just answered. You know, like we're spending our time and picking through a lot of information on every opponent to make sure that the players have the information they need so they know what to expect from the Boston Bruins offensively, what to expect from them defensively, where we might be able to take advantage of some weaknesses, what we have to be aware of, like when it comes to their strengths. So that's how you earn trust. I mean, if you're detail-oriented and you understand what they're going to do and you're kind of one step ahead of it in your checking game or offensively, the better off you're going to be.
The stretch here, you've got Florida, Boston, Vegas. Is this a measuring stick stretch for you? Do you care about that at all?
No, I do. I think it's a good test for our team. You know, like it started with Dallas, and it's all the top teams coming up, and then the beginning of February we take on all the rest of the top teams, starting with the Rangers. So it's like, yeah, it's a good measuring stick. Let you know where you're at with a team. I wish we were going into it not banged up and you know, with some guys sick, but every team goes through that. You're gonna have to grind. It's gonna be every point you can carve out of the stretch is an important point, and it's gonna be some tough opponents. We found that out the other night. We had a good game in Dallas. We were able to get the win. We didn't have a great game the other night, didn't get any points, and we have to bounce back tonight and try to carve out some points.
For those of us who don't see Cale Makar on a regular basis, what are the skills that make him such a unique player?
Yeah, so I mean, it starts with his skating, number one. And really that drives his offense. I mean, he's an intelligent player. He's a handsy player. He likes to get up and get involved in the offensive side of it, but still pays a great deal of attention to his defending, his physicality. He's always thinking one step ahead. So he's going to close you out in the defensive zone. He's already thinking how he can turn that to offense, you know. And I mean, he's just such a well-rounded player, one of the best in the world. And I mean, he is an impact in sort of every aspect of our game, both special teams, 5-on-5. And that, you know, I guess you can tell that by the minutes that he plays for us and the success he's having.
Couple last ones, guys.
Jared, what does Postra do that makes him such a handful to defend that, both at 5-on-5 and on the power play?
Great passer, obviously lethal shot, great goal scorer. He's always kind of finding quiet ice away from the net where he can shoot it. He's not afraid to go to the net. He uses his line mates well. He's a great skater. He's competitive. I mean, you go down the list, and he's a lot to handle. You know, you have to be aware of guys like him and guys like him at all times and to know where they are on the ice so they don't find any quiet ice on you and they're not able to shoot from within the home plate area, because if they get those opportunities, they can score on.
Coaches,
Last one, go ahead.
Game 41 tonight, does your mindset start to shift at all now that we're officially going to be in the back half of the year?
No, our mindset is to get our team to come together and play to an identity and with the habits that we need to have success at the most important time of the year, and focus on our process, not our results. And we feel like if we do that, we'll get the results we want. And we're just going to grind and try to get our team to play the right way, as consistent as we possibly can, in order to be able to sustain it come playoff time, you know. And we're gonna have to work to do that just to get in the playoffs. You can see how tight everything is, but that's our goal. We're thinking big picture still. We have from the day one of training camp.
Thanks, sir.
Yep, thank you.